Let's take a moment, look at the disclaimer. This content is for educational, informational, entertainment purposes only, and nothing should be taken as a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any securities at any time. We are here just to tell you how BTA analyze the market, how we look at the market. This is Rod from BTA, and we are known as the middle traders. Okay, we're going to look at our weekly Bollinger Band strategy and do an update. To our weekly Bollinger Band strategy. So what we're looking at right now is a weekly chart of the DIA, the ETF that tracks the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And we have up top our Bollinger Bands. We have our RSI here. We have our stochastic. And we got our MACD down below. Okay, so last week, the week before last, prices fell back below the red line, which is the lower Bollinger Band. Okay, this is the upper Bollinger Band, and this is the middle point. So the week before last, prices fell back below the lower Bollinger Band. The RSI got down back to 30, and the stochastic gave us a bearish crossover, and it moved back below the 20 level right here. So that basically reset the trading plan. Okay, that reset it. So that represents the new setup week. So this week, the week before last, represents the new setup week. Okay, now last week we was trying to set up the signal week. We were trying to set up the signal week where you see prices close back above. Prices close back above the lower Bollinger Band. Prices close back above the lower Bollinger Band. The RSI got back off of 30. It's at 41.21. But to complete the signal week, we also needed the stochastic, the blue line, to cross above the red. Okay, and get back above the 20 level. It didn't do that. It did not do that. So the signal week is not complete. Now, one of the things that is very interesting to me, we had a follow through day. We had 2 good days on Thursday and Friday last week where the percentage change was very high. And the RSI came off of 30, and it's at 41.2. But what's interesting to me, with all of that strong price activity, even if you look at the daily charts, you can see we moved up pretty good on the major indexes. The price moved up pretty well. We didn't see the stochastic. Why didn't it come out of 20? It didn't come from belief. It's below the 20 level. You see it. It's below the 20 level. It never made it back from the oversold levels, because when it's below 20, it's oversold, and it's when above 80, it's overbought. Why didn't we come back out of the oversold level and come out of that and get back above the 20 level? Why didn't that happen? So that's very interesting to me, because you'd have thought we would have saw more momentum coming in on the stochastic indicator here than we seen. The stochastic is telling us that prices are closing higher and higher within its range. If it's going up, it's telling us that prices are closing higher and higher within its range. The stochastic is like one big trading bar. Okay, and it tells you where prices is closing within the high and the low over a certain period of time. This is actually set for 14 weeks. So this is like one big 14-week trading bar. It's saying right now we close it down on the lower side of the range over the last 14 weeks. Well, that could be true. You see prices have been going down. But I would have suspected that this stochastic line, which is the blue line, would at least got above the 20 level. Well, because it didn't, the signal week, this is not the signal week. We have to wait until the stochastic get above the signal line, the RSI stays above 30, and the weekly bar closes, it still closes above the lower Bollinger Band. So the DIA did not complete the signal week. The DIA did not complete the signal week. Okay, so now let's look at really quickly the S&P. Okay, the SPY, the SPY, the ETF that tracks the Standard & Poor 500. Okay, look, the same thing. All right, the trading strategy reset because the week before last, prices closed. You can see prices closed below the lower Bollinger Band. Okay, the RSI got below 30 and the stochastic got back below 20. So the trading plan for the SPY also reset. I'm going to zoom in on this so we can make sure we see it. Okay, the trading plan for the RSI for the SPY, the ETF that tracks the Standard & Poor 500, also reset because we got back below the lower Bollinger Band. But look what happened last week. We closed back above the lower Bollinger Band. That's what we need for a signal week because we're looking for the signal week now. So we closed back above the lower Bollinger Band. The RSI got above 30. It's at 40.24. So that's also great. But look at the stochastic. Look at the stochastic here, y'all. We got a bearish crossover where the blue line crossed below the red, and it's still below 20. It's at 14.52. We need the stochastic get above 20 and to give us a bullish crossover where the blue line crosses above the red. We didn't get that last week. So there was no signal week. This is not the signal week. We have to wait until next week for the SPY and the DIA. If everything else stays the same, if we could still close above the lower Bollinger Band, if the RSI could stay above 30, we have to wait until the stochastic gives us a bullish crossover and get back above the 20 level, which is this green line right here, the 20 level, the oversold level. We need to see that. But this is interesting to me because I would have thought that at least the stochastic line would have gave us a bullish crossover and peaked its head above 20 for the DIA and the SPY, being that we had such a strong close toward the end of the week. Well, if this doesn't change, if we can't get this here stochastic, this blue line to get above 20, I'm going to be very skeptical of this here relief rally that we have right now, or rebound rally that we have right now. Okay. Now, so let's look at the Qs real quick. So that's it. We looked at the SPY, we looked at the DIA. Let's check out the QQQs, the ETF that tracks the NASDAQ, specifically the NASDAQ 100. Same thing. We reset because we closed back below the lower Bollinger Band. Okay. The RSI got below 30 or at 30. We got a bearish crossover right here on the stochastic and it moved below 20. So it reset. All right. It reset for the Qs. But now we're looking for the signal week, which would have been last week. Well, we closed back above the lower Bollinger Band. That's great. We got back above 30. Okay. We had 38.88. So we got back above 30, the oversold level. But look at the stochastic, y'all. Same thing. We did not get the bullish crossover where the blue line crossed above the red, and it's still below the 20 level. It's at 13.27. It did not give us a bullish crossover. So this is not the signal week. We have to wait until next week for the Qs also. And the Qs was up the most last week. The Qs were up the most last week. Okay. Thursday and Friday of last week, the Qs had a percentage change higher than any other ETF that track major market ETF that tracks the major market indexes. Let's say that. Out of the DIA, the SPY, the IWM, the ITOT, the Qs had the largest percentage gain. Okay, well, let's say next week, this upcoming week, okay, we have to see if it could stay the same, if we could still close above the lower Bollinger Band, if the RSI could stay above 30, and let's see if we could get a bullish crossover and the stochastic get back above the 20 level. That's what we're looking for on the QQQs also. So let's now take a look at the IWM, the little guys and girls, the ETF that tracks the Russell 2000 small companies. Same thing. We reset because we closed below the lower Bollinger Band. We got back below 30. We had a bearish crossover and the stochastic moved below 20. It's reset. The next week, which was last week, that was the week before last, we reset. Last week, we closed above the lower Bollinger Band. We closed above it. That's great. That's step one, close above the lower Bollinger Band. The RSI got back above 30. It's at 37.75. That's good too. But look at the stochastic. We did not get the bullish crossover. The blue line crosses above the red, and we did not get back above the 20 level. Listen, the stochastic, which represents, like I said, one big trading bar. Just imagine it being a 14-week trading bar right here. Over the last 14 weeks, we closing down near the bottom of the range, 17% of the range. We want to close in the upper end of the range, where we got at least get above the 20% level. That's the oversold level on the stochastic. Are y'all picking up? The jewels that I'm dropping? Are you with me? Let's look at the ITOT. The ITOT, the Standard & Poor's Total U.S. Market ETF. I like this one because if the market move, it's going to move. But it only moves $2 to $3 a day, so you can't get hurt that bad. You might not make a fortune overnight, but hey, we're looking for the slow buck. All right. So look, the ITOT reset. It closed back below the lower Bollinger Band. We got back below 30. The stochastic gave us a bearish crossover and moved below 20. Bingo. We are reset. Well, that was the week before last. Last week, we were looking for the signal week. Well, we closed above the lower Bollinger Band. That was step one. The RSI got back above 30, and it's at 39.39. That was step two. That's great. But the problem was right here. We did not get a bullish crossover on the stochastic where the blue line crossed above the red, and it's still below 20. It's at 13.86. We have to wait until next week and see if we could still close above the lower Bollinger Band, if we could still stay above the 30 level, and can we get the stochastic to give us a bullish crossover and get above 20. If we can get that to happen, then that'll be our signal week, and we'll be waiting for the pivot. So the update in summary right now, the update is that all of the major market index ETFs for the Bollinger Band strategy is still looking to get the signal week. The stochastic, which is telling us where are we closing in the range over a specific period of time, is saying that we have not got the bullish crossover, and we're still within the oversold levels. We got to come out of that on all of the major market index ETFs on the weekly charts before we can complete the signal week and then start looking for the pivot week, which is going to be our buy point week. Okay, so we have to look at this next week, monitor it every day. If anything changes, I'm going to give y'all the update. Remember, this is not financial advice, but wouldn't it be wonderful if it was? Wouldn't it be great if it was? But it's not. But what if it was? Cha-ching, cha-ching, ching, ching. Well, at least you won't lose a lot of money. So that's it for the Bollinger Band update, y'all. We're still waiting for the signal week. Let's see what happened. This setup has only happened about 4 times in the last 20-something years. And every time that is signaled the right way, every time you completed the entire strategy, every time we went on a nice move upward. So we're going to keep monitoring this. We're going to keep watching this and see if history can repeat itself once again. See you in the next video.